Hello, Brotato Chips. Big Titty Gamer Bro here with another video. Apologies again for any sniffles or nasally voices. God decided it would be great to sprinkle some plant sperm in the air, so my allergies are acting up. Anywho, today I want to talk about Apex Legends Season 14. I'm a pretty big Apex fan. I was a big COD fan, and prior to this, I was also playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017 a lot. But COD became boring and bloated as hell with their file sizes, and then EA unfortunately decided to cut support for Star Wars Battlefront 2. So I pivoted to Apex a while back. The movement and gunplay in the game is really solid most of the time, and they update regularly, so it's always a fun game to play. Season 14 just dropped this Tuesday, and so far I've been having a lot of fun with it, but there have been several changes. One of the biggest recent changes is the level cap increase. Now this is game changing if you're already level 500 and capped at it. You can now actually level up to 3 additional tiers of 500 levels, kind of like Prestige in Call of Duty. This means even more chances for loot boxes and potentially those sweet heirloom shards. Another one of the main things you'll notice that they've changed up is the map rotation this season. This season they have World's Edge, Stormpoint, and the revamped version of Kings Canyon. I've played Kings Canyon a bunch of times so far, and I gotta say I'm really digging the new map change. The main one to keep in mind is mostly the addition of Relic. It's a new POI over where Skulltown used to stand. There's a ton of buildings and so much verticality with the large skull looming overhead, so there's definitely going to be a lot of possible entry points, and so far it's a really entertaining location. Everybody's going to be hot dropping here, so just be prepared for that moving forward. Of course, since we have a new season, we also have a new legend, Vantage. Now Vantage's backstory is pretty decent. Grew up with her mom in the wilds of the Apex games, and she's been an accomplished hunter ever since. Her mom's currently imprisoned, wrongfully, might I add, and Vantage has entered the games to make a name for herself and get her mom out. I actually really like her character. I think her voice lines are really entertaining, and the quips and banter between her and other characters are really nice. Also, nowhere near as annoying as Newcastle going, recharging my Evo shield, not the one on my back, every 20 seconds. Her kit is also pretty interesting. I personally love playing with snipers. I'm by no means amazing at it, but I still do enjoy it. There's nothing quite as satisfying as beaming somebody with like 1 or 2 hits with a charged Senti. Absolutely beautiful. That being said, it's cool to see a sniper-focused character. Her passive allows her to see bullet drop and enemy shield health info when you're equipped with a gun with mid-range or higher optics. Not gonna lie, I've definitely not been using this as much as I should have, but I'm sure it's gonna be proving useful in rank while trying to figure out if an engagement is worth it or not, and how likely the team is to win just based off shield stats. I do wish it had more of an actual buff for snipers, since that's kind of like our whole thing. It's something similar to like Rampart's passive, where it decreases reload time or restocking time with LMGs, but overall it's a cool passive, and I'm excited to try to take more turns with it. Her tactical is alright. She has the ability to throw her bat echo at specific locations and then double jump off of it to relocate. It's a pretty fun tactical. We've got a lot of movement based characters in Apex, so it's nothing new unfortunately, but there are definitely a lot of ways to use it and it's pretty fun to use. Her ultimate, however, is really fun. I personally enjoyed the hell out of it. She pops out her own sniper rifle and uses it to tag and damage enemies. The enemies she's hit will be hit harder by your and your teammates' bullets. If I'm not incorrect, there's second shot. By the second shot, you're pretty much hitting with 100 damage. It's like having a mini Kraber in your backpack. It's really nice. And it's great because it charges 1 bullet every 40 seconds. I also really like the animation of her pulling it out and assembling it really quick, and then the actual aim down sight is pretty sick as well. If you manage to aim with it and land your shots, you'll do some pretty nasty damage. So overall, an interesting character, but definitely nothing to shake up the meta. I think she'll be more popular than Maggie or maybe even Newcastle, but yeah, I don't think she's going to be a regular pick all the time. Additional updates. Other legends have also been changed up in the patch notes. Most significantly affected was definitely Valk. She has seen a slew of debuffs to her kit, and it's finally breaking the Valk meta we saw running rampant throughout ALGS and Ranked. I don't think she's going to be leaving the top picks for a while, but her kit has definitely dropped, and it'll be interesting to see what other legends might pick up the slack. Mad Maggie and Newcastle have also seen some updates added to their tactical and ultimate, so maybe they'll get some more love this season as well. Moving on to weapon changes. There are a lot this season. The main ones are that the Rampage and the Bocek are moving off the floor and into the care package. The Rampage is actually going to spawn in with the Thermite Grenade for that extra firepower, so we'll see how it plays out. But because those are finally moving off the floor and into the care package, we finally have the Vault and the G7 Scout moving back into the ground loop. I've missed the hell out of the Vault, so I'm super excited to try it again. I never actually got the chance to mess around with the G7 that much since I started out Apex in Season 11 when it was still in the care package, so I'm excited to try it out as well, see what it's like. For crafting rotations, we now have the Wingman and the car returning to the ground loop, so I'm super excited to pick these guns up again. Special thing to note about the Wingman is that it's now taking sniper ammo and attachments. Due to this, they've increased the ammo size for sniper to 14 rounds a stack versus 12. Going into the crafter are the Devotion and the RE45 with hammers. I hate the Devotion, so I'm glad it's not on the ground anymore. I hate picking that shit up. But the RE45 might actually be worth crafting. Coming with hammers definitely makes it a solid secondary to have. In addition to this, the Spitfire is now taking light ammo to redistribute ammo types on the ground. We also now have laser sight attachments replacing barrel attachments for SMGs and pistols specifically. Moving on to ranked. Now, it was a bit of a sticky topic last season. The entry points per game were significantly increased across the board, with an increased focus on higher points rewarded for placement versus kills. And a lot of people are complaining about this because it's consequently much harder to rise in rank, especially when you're playing solo like myself. I typically run up to diamond on previous seasons, but it was hard as hell just getting to plat as a solo this season. I can't imagine that it would be any easier this season either. I think it's going to be remaining the same, as the entry costs have been increased by 5 points across all ranks. That being said, however, they have removed the diminishing returns on kills, so we'll be getting some more RP for those as well. I just don't think it's going to change the difficulty of rising through rank for most people, especially solos like myself. Overall, I think this season's going to be pretty solid for Apex. Major update, hella changes across the board, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. I'm personally super excited to see how it goes, so let me know how you guys are feeling about the season in the comments below. Spank that like button and subscribe. Peace.